Welcome back, fight fans. Coming up next, we've got a professional featherweight title bout as Antonio Castillo Jr. takes on Frank the Tank Caraballo. Let's send it up to Jazz and bring these guys out.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your main event of the evening. Your main event tonight is brought to you by Tim Lally Chevrolet, the official auto dealership of the NAAFS, and also by the distinguished Mr. John P. Lennon, who is in attendance tonight. And now, making his way to the cage, please welcome Antonio Castillo Jr.
Well, Ryan, here comes Antonio Castillo Jr. He is on a 2-fight win streak. Very nice decision victories over Kevin Rothhacker and Paul Compton, two very tough guys. Now, for the fans at home, we got to give you a little bit of a background here. These guys, Frank the Tank and Tony Castillo Jr., they're friends. They're friends on Facebook. Miguel Cotto and Antonio Margarita are going to fight, one being Puerto Rican descent, the other one Mexican descent. Some words start going back and forth. Next thing you know, Greg sets this fight up. Both these guys wanted a piece of the other, saying nasty, nasty stuff on Facebook. They wanted to absolutely destroy each other. It just so happens that Frank the Tank defeats Donnie Walker at Bellator 66 on the undercard, so that's how this becomes a title fight. And we'll get more into that in a second, but first and foremost, let's introduce our distinguished guest, UFC veteran Forrest the Meat Cleaver Pets. How are you, Forrest?
I'm good, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, and if we've learned nothing else, we've learned that there's two guys fighting, there's a tough guy sitting next to me, and don't post stuff on Facebook unless you want to fight.
Yeah, right. And the only other thing I have to say is they might be your Facebook friends, but would they pick you up from the airport? I mean, are they really your friends?
Understood that. Like I said, I mean, one of these guys, how they got into it, I don't know, but they were both emailing me trying to get this fight set up, and I said, guys, you got to call Greg. Both of them were calling Greg. They want a piece of each other, something fierce, no doubt about it.
Well, you look at this, we might as well ask the UFC vet Forrest Pets, do you see a resemblance between Tony Castillo Jr. and Diego Sanchez?
No, I think he looks, God, I can't think of the kid's name, the one kid that won the Ultimate Fighter a couple seasons ago. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
We'll figure it out in a second.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent to the cage tonight, Frank Caraballo.
Well, guys, here comes Frank Caraballo. He is on a 4-fight winning streak, including 2 wicked knockouts over Doug Culbis in 11 seconds total, and Donnie Walker via a flying knee, as we already mentioned, at Bellator 66.
Yeah, coming in the champ, this is a 5-round fight. He's gone 5 rounds one time, and that was a loss to Daniel Strauss. We all know at this point what that loss means. It means you lost to one of the toughest guys in your weight class in the world. And Tony Castillo, he's gone the distance 3 times, so I don't think 5-round fight, I don't imagine that conditioning is going to be a problem, as both these guys have shown the ability to go all the way.
Castillo's a grinder, you know. He that's usually how the way he wins his fights is he uses his takedowns and he just grinds out the rounds. But he's never gone 5 rounds, as far as I know. He's had 3-round fights, so that advantage could be to Frank.
And you make a great point, and we'll get more into this, and let's let Jazz introduce these guys and enjoy the stare down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pinnacle of Midwestern mixed martial arts. Prepare to bear witness. The North American Allied Fight Series is proud to present your main event of the evening. It is sanctioned by the Ohio Athletic Commission. Your inspectors, Gary Ceresi and Joe Ceresi. Your judges for the main event, Mike Berry, Brian Monroe, and Dan Maltz. And your referee in charge of the cage, Chad Trukovich. And now, live from Jacobs Pavilion at Nautica in Cleveland, Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, fight fans of all ages, are you ready It's about to go down. For the thousands in attendance tonight and the tens of thousands joining us live pay-per-view, somebody make some noise! Your main event is brought to you by Tim Lally Chevrolet and also John P. Lennon. 5 rounds for the NAAFS Professional Series Featherweight World Championship title. And now, introducing your challenger, fighting out of the John P. Lennon red corner. This fighter's MMA record sits with 12 wins and only 3 defeats. Standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing 145 pounds, representing Instigator Fight Team, fighting out of Perrysburg Heights, Ohio, the Mexican Muscle, Antonio Castillo Jr. And now, his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the Intimidation Clothing blue corner. This fighter's impressive MMA record sits with 17 wins and 7 defeats. Standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing 144 1/2 pounds. Representing Fearless Fight Team and fighting out of Cleveland, Ohio. He is the undisputed NAAFS Featherweight World Champion, introducing Frank the Tank Caraballo.
Bring it in. Here we are, gentlemen. This is not just a main event. This is for the 145-pound NAAFS professional title. You guys know the rules. I expect you to follow the rules and obey my commands at all times. I have one simple question for the both of you. You want to win? You want to win? Then I expect a war. Touch them up.
Ladies and gentlemen at home, for the entire time Jazz was introducing them, that was the best show I've seen in a long time. Watching these two guys pace back and forth, mean mugging each other.
Yeah, they don't like each other.
Well, that'd be anticlimactic if Frank locks in that guillotine right there, right off the bat. But looks like Tony working for the double.
And this, go ahead, sorry.
You knew Tony was going to come right in and try to smother Frank's attack right away. That's generally his style, and Frank's advantages are mostly on the feet, so that's how I figured it would play out.
How much of that bad blood comes into play? I'm sure Tony wants to punch him in the face, but is it his job not to get away from where he's the strongest, which would be the wrestling, and not get into that, slugfest?
Well, I think all fighters are different. Tony seems like a guy who's kind of fueled like that. Kind of reminds me of the Diaz brothers, where they let that affect their style, and it works for them. Frank doesn't seem like that. Frank, if you look at, he's relaxed, or at the announcements there, he was all relaxed and just pacing. He seems like he's just the kind of guy who just comes straight forward and sticks to the plan.
Sure.
And that's smart by Tony. He doesn't want to get into a slugfest where he's not the superior striker. He's, as much as he wants to punch Frank in the face, punch him in the face on the ground.
He wants to get him down and then hit him. Right now, he's having a little bit of trouble getting him down.
But Frank's showing some good takedown defense here.
And in the early part of this round, Tony's really struggling to get this takedown. That's going to affect his cardio.
Absolutely.
And he's taking some shots in his effort. Frank is landing some elbows and some hammer fists here while defending this takedown.
And Forrest, you went 5 rounds with Brendan Seguin, and once you get past that 3rd round, it's championship rounds for a reason, and you don't want to blow your gas tank in the first 2 minutes of the first round.
You're absolutely right.
He gets it. Secures the takedown. Let's see if Frank can get himself back up to his feet. Nice back elbow by Tony Castillo from that position.
Frank's trying to wall walk right now. Looks like he's getting up.
Yeah, and it really stinks getting pinned up against there as a fighter, but Frank's doing the smart thing. Make the cage your friend. A Facebook friend.
Right. Facebook.
Yeah, because Forrest, you can attest, the cage can be sometimes your worst enemy or your best friend.
Yeah, it can.
Another slam.
Nice takedown there by Castillo.
Well, Castillo exerting a lot of energy in getting these takedowns.
That's the thing. He's still got to go 5 rounds. And I can tell you that if you get a guy down and you work hard to get him down, and then he gets back up, it's demoralizing.
Right, so at this point, Tony's got to do something with this takedown. He's got to
But
get his
he's got side mount right now.
Yeah, he didn't have an underhook with the far arm, and that's why Frank was able to escape. Now Frank takes him down.
Takedown of his own. And he takes his back. He's got one hook in.
He's a little high.
And Tony's going to shook him off.
He's got both hooks in.
He's got the seatbelt working.
Oh, and Frank's got that, not under there yet, but he's working for it.
Big elbow by Frank.
Ooh, Tony's in some trouble here. And I got a feeling if he gets this,
he's got that.
He is not going to tap.
If that looks like he's in trouble, and he does tap.
Ooh,
Frank pushes off of him afterwards.
I thought for sure he would not tap out. He would just go to sleep.
He said no mas.
Ladies and gentlemen, the comic stylings of Mr. Forrest Betts.
Just remember,
I'll be here all night.
Yeah, the 9:30 show is completely different than the 7:30.
That was a statement win from Frank Caraballo and Tony Castillo leading the cage.
Well, let's hope that, these guys come, have a fight, you get a win by Frank Caraballo. Let's just hope we can bury the hatchet.
Well, as much as I'd like to say that would be the case, it doesn't seem like it is.
Well,
Frank.
there they are right now.
Oh, he's back in. All right.
And you know what? Classy move by Tony Castillo. You know what? You came in very impressive with their sportsmanship, everything they've said, and now they get to make up. That's why this sport is just so great. Classy, classy sportsmanship. Let's send it up to Jazz and make this official.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight ends with a tap out due to a rear naked choke at 3 minutes and 46 seconds of the very first round. Your winner and still the undisputed NAAFS Featherweight World Champion, Frank the Tank Caraballo.
I'm standing here with your winner, Frank Caraballo. Beautiful fight. You knew he was going to come with the takedown. Did you think it was going to come that quick?
I was expecting a quick fight. I mean, this is what I train for. This is what I do. I'm coming out here and do it every damn fight.
Well, you look beautiful. Great takedown defense. Once he got you down, you used the cage, got back up, sunk in there, rear naked choke. What's next for you, my man?
I don't know, Greg. What's up? I'm ready for the big show.
Well, I certainly hope that is the case. Now, as far as you and Tony, bad blood, we done with it?
Yeah, I'm done with it. I mean, Puerto Ricans and Mexicans always have rivalries, and that's the way it is. I came out on top. And, I want to thank all my training partners, my fans, Thick as Thieves, Hell City, Tattoo, and everyone that comes out to support me. And happy birthday to my dad.
Well, you guys showed what made this sport so great. You came in, looks like you guys buried the hatchet. Very, very great, good show of sportsmanship. Congratulations. Anybody you need to thank?
Hey, I want to thank Marv for helping me with all my jiu-jitsu. He's one of the best jiu-jitsu guys out there and doesn't get no credit. And now it's about time he gets that credit that he deserves.
Absolutely, Marvin Williams. Congratulations. Give it up for your winner, Frank the Tank Caraballo! More NAAFS cage fighting coming right up.